Story time about how I caught my baby daddy with my best friend in my own bed. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, I sent me on Instagram. My baby and daddy and I are engaged to be married. Our baby is almost 1 year old and we've been happy up until now. The bad thing is that we rushed into our relationship. We never really took the time to really get to know each other. I don't know a lot about his childhood and I don't tell him about mine because he doesn't ask. We don't really know what each other's favorite colors are, you know, stuff like that. Then I got pregnant and everything changed. He asked me to marry him and I told him that we needed to be engaged for a while so that we could really get to know each other. At first he agreed, but then he started getting annoyed. He wanted to go out with his friends and be free, but we had a baby. This is where my best friend comes in. I'm a nurse and one of the things that I told my fiance was that I wanted to keep my job even after I had the baby. So my best friend started coming over to our place to take care of the baby. My fiance owns his own business so he doesn't have to be there all the time. So he was basically home all the time with my best friend. And no, it never crossed my mind that they would ever do anything behind my back. 3 weeks ago, I started noticing some really weird behavior between them. My best friend had a hickey on her neck and I started asking her who it was from. I just was curious, but my fiance yelled at me and told me to stop asking. Part 2 is up. Part 2 of how I caught my baby daddy with my best friend in my own bed. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, it was sent to me on Instagram. When I asked my best friend about the ginormous hickey she had on her neck, my stupid baby daddy started yelling at me. He told me to leave her alone and to mind my own business. So I said, excuse me? She's my best friend and we talk about everything. That's when my best friend told me that she met someone new and that she was really happy about it. My baby daddy told me that I was nosy and he left the room. And that's when all the alarms went off. He had never behaved that way with me before, much less for my best friend. As soon as he left the room, I started interrogating my best friend. And she looked guilty as hell. I asked her who the new guy was and she wouldn't tell me. I mean, couldn't she have come up with a lie? But secretly, I knew that she wanted me to find out. A few days later, I start noticing more weird behavior. My baby daddy asked me to go buy groceries after I got out of work and it was already 10 p.m. He said that we really needed some things for the baby, so I went to the supermarket. It took me about an extra hour to get home after that, which looking back now was plenty of time for him and my best friend to do whatever they wanted. Block away from our house. Part 3 is up. Part 3 of how I caught my baby daddy and my best friend in my bed. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, it's sent to me on Instagram. Those fools didn't even bother to close the curtains. I waited 10 minutes and then I walked to the front yard. I started looking through the window, but I really couldn't see anything. I went to the side of the house and I started looking through another window and I could see that the door to our bedroom was open, which I knew I had closed before I left. I quietly unlocked the front door and that's when I see my baby on the couch, all by himself. Yes, he was wrapped up in blankets and surrounded by pillows, but the fact that they left him by himself is what angered me the most. I quietly walked over to the bedroom and I could see them both laying on the bed. I thought my stomach was gonna fall out of my butt. I walked right into the bedroom, but they were too busy making out to even see that I was in the room. So I threw my purse right at their faces, but I was weirdly calm. The ones who were freaking out were them. My best friend got up from the bed and basically ran out of my house. She didn't even have the courage to face me. And all he did was sit on the bed and beg me for forgiveness. Then he begged me not to tell his mother. It's like all he really cared about was his mom not finding out. That's when he confessed that his mom was helping him out financially and that his business was not doing well. And that he really didn't want to upset her because she would stop giving him money. So I grabbed my baby and our things and we went to my parents' house. My parents have a huge house with the pool and everything. I don't need to be with him. My parents offered to take me in and take care of us. Of course, I'm continuing to work. But should I tell my baby daddy's mom? And I still haven't spoken to my best friend or ex-best friend. What the heck should I do?
Okay, so story time about how my best friend and I were dating the same guy. So a little background information, it was my freshman year of high school and I was 15 years old and I had been dating this guy who we are going to call Jacob. And we had been dating for about 3 months. He was a part of the popular group in school, but he was also known for cheating on all of his ex-girlfriends, including me. But why would I see that as a red flag? Probably because I was fucking dumb. That's exactly why. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Of course he was cheating on me and people would come up and tell me that he was cheating on me. At first I really wanted to leave him, but he was really cute and he came from a very rich family. So in reality, I only wanted to stay with him so that way he would keep spoiling me with extremely expensive gifts. He would literally buy me anything and everything that I wanted. So it was kind of like a beneficial relationship almost, except while he was buying me things I was getting embarrassed by girls coming up to me in school and being like, yeah, your man was texting me like that, you know. But it was worth it. At least that's what I told myself. So my best friend, who we are going to call Taylor, she came over for a sleepover and the whole night we had talked about Jacob cheating on me and she asked me why I hadn't broken up with him yet. So then of course I told her why I wouldn't leave and she was like, period sis, do what you gotta do. Like, no judgment over here. Period. We love a supportive bestie. We love that. Well, then I came up with this super awesome plan for my best friend and I both to get gifts from him and use him for his money. And I had been thinking about this plan like all night while she was sleeping. I was like laying there, you know, like thinking about it in my head, you know. So I quite literally wake her up at like 6 in the morning. And I was like, dude, you should be his side chick. She looked at me like I was a little bit psychotic, not gonna lie. She was like, no, anytime that I see this stuff in the movies, it always ends up going wrong. And I was like, sis, first of all, this is not the movie. Second of all, if you don't fall in love with this douchebag, then we'll be fine. So of course she says yes. So she starts flirting with him, trying to make him want her. And I may have tried to give it a little push by giving her his Snapchat, his phone number, his Instagram, everything that you could think of. So she tries sliding in his DMs, and then she tries like texting him on Snapchat. But of course, the one time this would benefit me, he don't want to cheat. He was like, I'm with your best friend. I don't think we should do this right now, you know, da 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 da. But of course, like all men who cheat, he ended up meeting up with her. And they started, quote, sneaking around. Meanwhile, I literally knew all the tea. Like, Taylor would literally text me when they were together, saying what they were doing, text me pictures of what she just got, like, shit like that. Eventually, she also started getting stuff from him 24/7, and he literally looked so fucking stupid. Well, eventually we got bored with what we were doing, so we decided to fuck with him just one last time. We decided that we would both make a wish list and put everything that we wanted on there. And at the end of the month, we would have a sleepover and bring everything that we got. And whoever had the most things on their wish list won. I don't know what we were planning on winning, to be honest. I think it was just part of our plan to mess with him one more time. Well, fast forward to the end of the month, we have everything that he got us at our sleepover. And let me tell you, it was insane. I had a king size bed. It filled up my king size bed. There was shit all over the floor. So what do? I take a video of my room, which is covered in gifts that he got us. And might I just add, like, talk about trying to buy somebody's love. It was low-key sad as fuck, but not sad enough for me to take a video of it and post it on Instagram, tagging him and all of his friends. I ended up writing a long paragraph about how he was a piece of shit cheater and that if you try to cross me, you won't win. He was so embarrassed. Everybody at school was laughing at him, as they should. Well, he ended up telling his mommy about it, and his mom came to my house to talk to my parents, and my mom decided to be a bad bitch. She was like, listen, your son did all this shit willingly. He seems like a douchebag. I don't know what you want me to do about it. Everything that was done is already done, so get the fuck off my property. Period. As she should. Not gonna lie, my dad was kind of mad at me, but my mom was super impressed. And we literally laugh about it all the time.
Hi, my name is Demelza. Please like and subscribe. My first memory of Mom